Metropolis had its own.
Oh, your own. Okay,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah, so they couldn't figure out why it wasn't popping up, but you had to load it, Jazz, and
Those meetings are so annoying.
yes, they are. Yes, I'd rather drive to Brady.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, I'll call to order the city council meeting for May 27, 2021. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Steve Cherney,
Here.
Kevin Kadada.
Here.
Tim Root,
Here.
Cindy Fier,
Here.
and Scott Palava is absent.
Okay, the agenda tonight just consists of 4 items. Any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda?
Will we approve the agenda as presented?
Motion by Councilman Kadada,
Second?
second by Councilperson Fear. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes. Consider approval of the minutes from the May 13th, 2021 regular meeting. Any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes?
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Motion by Councilman Cherney,
Second?
second by Councilperson Fear. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There are no public hearings. Presentation of citizens' petitions and comments. Comments limited to 2 minutes. So if you're not on the agenda tonight, now's your opportunity to speak. Okay, on the consent agenda, the monthly bills, the treasurer's report, and the board of commission minutes. Anybody would like any of those items pulled for discussion?
Will we approve the consent agenda?
Motion by Councilman Kadada,
Second?
second by Councilperson Fear. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There is no old business. On to new business. Presentation of a West Central Sanitation Good Neighbor Recycling Program check to Boy Scout Troop 323, Lonsdale. Taylor Williamson, welcome, sir. And look at all the distinguished guests we have there tonight. Oh my gosh.
When you want to come up and all.
They should all come up. Come on up there. The pride of Lonsdale, right here. New Prague. Well, New Prague is good. I mean, I grew up in New Prague.
So, yeah, Taylor Williamson, West Central Sanitation, I've got a check here for $641.52, and that is for 42.77 tons of recycling that you guys did for the first quarter. Very good job. Just like everything the Boy Scouts do, you did recycling well. Good job. So I'll give that to one of you guys. When you want it. There you go. Thank you. And, good to see you, Mr. Mayor. and the
Yeah,
council.
it's really good program you have there, the whole recycling thing. Very, very nice.
All those dumpsters are full.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, they sure are. Would you gentlemen care to speak? No? Not as much?
What rank are you guys, all tenderfoots, or what do we have here? You're life.
I'm currently working on it. So-
Eagle, okay, oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Tony
Star?
Star, working on light,
Okay,
working on
Eagle.
working on it.
Oh my gosh, that's
You
great.
guys pretty busy then with your programs and all that? Always busy? Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, good looking bunch of guys. Well, thank you very much. Good job to all of you for all your work.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again.
Good job, guys.
Okay, consider approval of the City of Lonsdale third revised COVID-19 preparedness plan. Mr. Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. Well, with the recent executive order issued by Governor Walz, the gist of it was that masks are no longer required, rather encouraged. And another component of it is that businesses in operation have to have a preparedness plan in place between May 27th and the earlier of 70% of people 16 years of age and older having received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccination, or July 1st, whichever is earlier. The 4 items that have to be covered in the plan are health screening, isolation, quarantine, hand hygiene practices, cleaning and disinfecting, indoor facilities, utilities, and ventilation. The changes that are proposed are what the plan covers. That has changed, and the component is reduced. Fully vaccinated employees do not need to quarantine if exposed to a person or symptoms unless they themselves are showing symptoms. Non-vaccinated employees do not need to quarantine if exposed to a person that has COVID-19 or symptoms. Now, exposed is defined by the policy, 15 minutes, no PPE. Eliminating the drop-off and pickup of no contact is no longer necessary. Social distancing is no longer required. Face coverings in general are no longer required but encouraged for non-vaccinated people. Updated the website for COVID-19 additional information, and then reduction in the number of items for employees to be trained on. The proposed policy is compliant with the executive order, and staff would recommend approval of it.
Okay, anybody have any questions, comments?
Make a motion to approve as written.
Motion by Councilman Cherney,
Second.
second by Councilman Kadada. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we're getting closer to normalcy. Is that what you're saying, Joel?
Yes. Not soon enough, though.
Right.
Okay. Consider approval of resolution 2021-35, a resolution approving a site plan and parcel combination for 115 Railway Street Southwest. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Mayor Rude and members of the council. Back a month ago in April, we had this same property come before us for a conditional use permit for outside seating, dining, patio area. And as you know, or if you've driven by, that has been constructed. Now before us this month is an actual addition to the building. So where we're at is Smoke Restaurant, 115 Railway Street Southwest. And what the request is from Andrew Rasmussen, the owner, is site plan review for the addition and parcel combination of the 2 parcels that are currently east and west. The property's zone B2. The uses, if you remember from last month, are restaurants being a permitted use and outside seating being a conditional use. As far as building design and construction materials, anything constructed after the original should be designed in a manner conforming with that principal original structure. The setbacks are shown there on page 2 for both the existing building and the addition. The addition will meet all the setbacks, so there will be no variances needed. The actual addition details would be 7.5 by 25. It's 187 square feet. It'll contain a vestibule entrance, a little waiting room, and a restroom. And if you remember from last month, one of the conditions was a restroom, and we had some conversation about not wanting a porta potty. So this will suffice for that occupancy that will be at the site. Currently, the building is 30 by 65, and as far as access, parking, and screening, similar capacity for parking will still need to be maintained with 11 parking stalls. The dimensions of the parking stalls should be compliant with the city code. As far as city code screening, the applicant is working with his neighbor currently to put up a privacy fence along the south part, the residential part. And then on the west side, there's another residential lot. They're all working together to try to vacate the alley. I know that they've been working. I just got a call from a surveyor yesterday, so they are working on trying to get a hold of a surveyor to get that alley vacated, which could come in at any time, but I think they want to do it here within the next few months or within the year. So, per city code, we do require concrete or bituminous pavement. At this time, parking lot's only partially paved. He is gonna try to pave the rest of that, or it's in his plan, within the next 2 to 5 years. Rice County and the city of Lonzo both reconstructing the adjacent roads. Rice County will be reconstructing County Road 4 next year, and City of Lonzo will be reconstructing 3rd Avenue in 2022. The applicant's been directed to work with the appropriate engineer on those in case there's a need to adjust or move the curb cuts for better flow in and out of the property. So back on Monday, the planning commission did review this and recommended approval of the site plan and the parcel combination. Attached, there's just the general location map, a bird's eye view, which is a couple years old, I think when it was Treats of Lonsdale, and then the attached resolution. And then there's 3 items from the architect, which would be the site plan, the floor plan, and then the building elevation, which shows the addition, and then the parcel combination of parcel 2 and parcel 1. So with that, it would be staff's and the planning commission's recommendation to approve parcel combination and the site plan.
Okay, Councilman Cherney?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Ben, the curb cut, because I've been out there and it's vitally important, was that part of this? In other words, it's gonna trail along, or is that just after the addition is made, after the road construction starts and everything, then they'll look at it? Where's that curb cut been? I wasn't quite,
Well-
what's the teeth in it, I guess?
Well, the timing is, so he would want to get a hold of the Rice County engineer soon,
Right,
before next year's project,
Okay.
and make sure that they get that curb cut where they want it to get. I did work with him on kind of showing him some different layouts for how the parking lot could look, and told him to, consider, I gave him the dimensions of parking stalls, so he'll have to work to figure out what will work best for his site.
Is there any way that we can put more emphasis behind it or legal force behind it? Because the way, in my opinion, the way that addition jets out there with the current access to their parking lot, it's getting pretty narrow right there. It's pretty tight, and I wish there was a way that we could say, you have to work with these people. Is there a way to nail that, make it tighter? Rather than just say, hey, kind of work with them,
Well, it'll just be for the, he'll have to lay out the flow, how the flow works best for his parking lot, so he knows the dimensions of each stall and how people are entering and exiting, so he'll have to see with the addition there, if it still works currently in the same location, so he has that option, or he can move it.
Will we have the option, if we don't like the flow of it after the addition's up, to go back and say,
It's a Rice County, so
it's totally a Rice
yeah.
County?
Nope, it's not our.
So we don't have any jurisdiction over that?
Yeah, he will have to work with the Rice
Okay.
County
Well,
engineer.
then
yeah.
maybe I'll make a call to Rice County folks. That's important, I think, because that could be just a cluster down there.
I mean, for depth, it's only 7 feet out
Right.
too, but
Yeah, just, with the snow, Kevin.
Right.
And I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me.
Right.
So, okay, thank you, Ben. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I had.
Okay, anybody else?
I move we approve.
Motion by Councilman Canada,
Second?
second by Councilperson Fuhrer. Just confirming, so P and Z was probably unanimous, or all in favor of it? Okay. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You have quite a complex there before he's done, by gosh.
Maybe a compound.
He's gonna throw
Yes.
himself right out of the
Yeah.
room.
Too bad I didn't start downtown, that would have been too cool. Yeah,
You
that was
tried.
South Florida, yeah. Okay, consider approval of quotes totaling $13,480 for the Dogwood Street Northeast Mill and Overlay Project. Excuse me, Mr. Vlasak.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, back in budgeting, when we were budgeting, we originally were looking at a mill and overlay in this area. Because of budgeting last year, wanting to do industrial park, we backed down to just a skin patch on this area. With the savings on some of the other projects that we have done this spring, we are looking or asking to go back to a mill and overlay. Also, the area has gotten bigger with the conditions over the winter. So we feel that this, a mill and overlay on this area would do a better job and last longer for longevity of this project and flow better with traffic. You wouldn't have the lip on the curb like you would with an overlay. So I'm asking for the council to approve us to go ahead with a mill and overlay, utilizing additional funds from other projects that were saved.
So Russ, we have that 13 grand laying around somewhere?
Well, there was $8,000 budgeted for this project.
Mm-hmm.
We approximately saved 10,000 on the drain tile that we installed.
Mm-hmm.
And the industrial park project should be around $4,800 less than what was expected. So there is money available from the other projects and this project to go ahead and do it with the mill and overlay.
It looks like you got a pretty competitive bid there from Crane Creek compared to McNamara.
Correct. And the milling also, I talked to the company, they're coming in, I believe, next Friday, to mill the the Second Avenue work. And they said that they would do time and material just to drive over or walk over there and mill it. And they're estimating that at $1,000. So that's saving almost $4,000 right there. Not having a mill, have to haul in and haul out for a mold.
Right. Good. Yeah, that's good.
Are you going to keep the grindings?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd motion to approve, Your Honor.
Okay, motion by Councilman Cherney,
Second?
second by Councilperson Fuhr. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That concludes the planned agenda. Anything else, sir, Mr. Bosak?
Nope, that's it for right now, Mayor.
I'd like to ask you a question, Your Honor. Russ, did you and John have a chance to look at the trails you were gonna walk?
We did go through the trails.
How are they looking?
Well, some of them are in worse shape than they were last year. Some are in pretty decent shape, moderate shape. Some are deteriorating to the point where we're trying to figure out the best process to get some longevity out of them yet. So we did meet, we're working together on a proposal for for budgeting.
Should we close any of them or put caution signs up at all? Because I'm afraid somebody, I could just, well, you know what I'm after here, safety. You know, somebody twists their ankle and, well, you got a pothole there in your trail, I don't know. Should we put a cone out or something? I don't know.
We do go through them and fill, try to get through them once a week.
Okay.
Not only for that, we're brooming them for our other friendly two-legged people that have
Yeah.
overwhelmed them.
There's a
So
lot of them, jeez.
So you don't think we need to put up any cautionary things to cover our butt?
we could put some signs out, I suppose.
Well, you just
for-
have to monitor it, I suppose.
something, but-
They're natural.
I mean, if you see a hazard, you have to deal with it, you
Yeah.
know, but I think as long as you got a plan, I mean, that's good to have.
No, it's good, but I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
as long as we're monitoring it, make sure, sinkhole.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The worst case would be a sinkhole that would show up after a rain like this
Yes.
and somebody would put their
Well,
foot.
somebody, I mean, can you fill them with gravel or something, or for the time being?
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
we go through and fill them with gravel
Yeah.
and try to pack them in.
Yeah.
But-
Well, we're working along with his plan, though.
I have one other question. Based on the COVID money, again, round two, and being outside, and could be part of that, I just wonder, should we consider possibly, I'm just gonna throw this out, don't kill me, cameras every once in a while, even to monitor the trails, so they don't have to be running out there. Would that work? To put a camera on a pole every once in a while to look at the trails? And use
For-
COVID money for that?
What do you want to look at?
I just want to look at the surfaces, just running a person out there all the time, not monitoring the people. I don't, that's not, wouldn't be the issue, but
I think like that COVID money would be better well spent to repair the trails.
well, this is part of it. I wouldn't disagree with that,
Right.
Kevin, but I mean, it's just a thought. We're so thin-staffed anyway, and we do so much with what we have, and we're always kind of figuring, how can we best utilize this for the city? I don't know if cameras are appropriate. Is that a goofy
Well,
thought? I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably invasion
be
of
pretty-
privacy or something.
Probably be tough to do.
Okay, let's just
because
drop
of
it.
Electric and whatever.
That's
Now,
fine.
Jason might want a drone or something.
Yeah, hey, there you go, Jason. You want a drone to fly over the park?
I don't need monitoring.
Well, he's got the cameras on. I'm
Well,
dropping it.
John, you want to comment on the trails? What do you got?
No, I don't think the camera is necessary or warranted. The public works staff are all over the city on a regular basis, and I think they probably know that they just swing by as a matter of routine and check them out, especially after rain, as Russ mentioned.
So, and you're working on a proposal then for master plan, and
Yeah.
you know, I think like we talked, some of this we can talk again at the budget meetings, but I think maybe one year we're just going to have a, repair of the paths and facilities or equipment, and take a year or two off on the street project or something. But yeah, that's a good discussion for budget meetings.
Well, thanks for entertaining the question.
Anything else, Don or John?
I'm good for right now.
Anything else?
The 2021 project, the contractor, BCM was rained out yesterday. Tomorrow they'll just kind of clean up, make sure everything's ready for the long weekend. They'll be back next week. They've got, all the water is in, and I don't know if they've got the bacteria test back yet or not.
We took in bacteria tests today for the project. They're hoping to have those results back for Monday or Tuesday morning to take people off a temporary. So that's their goal anyways.
And they'd also be continuing storm sewer. They've installed storm sewer on Delaware from 3rd to 4th. They have some to finish up there, and then after that, they'll start the street subcutting in phase 1. Triska Park, the storm sewer is in. They've staked it. They had plans for curbing next week. As you know, with rain, everybody's schedule kind of shifts back, it seems. And for 2nd Avenue, A1 Excavating notified us that they'd like to mill off the wedge. Next week, we delivered a notice to property owners, and also we'll put one on the website that they'll be in late next week to be milling the wedge off. So, about it.
Good.
I will also be hanging notices on these properties to let them know that we're going to be milling in front of their house.
Good. Good. Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Erickson.
I've been working with U of M Extension on the EDA's BRNE. The retreat is the next step in the plan. We've got that tentatively scheduled for July 14th, 4:30 to 8:30 at the Legion. So I'll be coordinating with them and with food. Also working with Bevcom on a phone system. They now have the capabilities to provide the system that we're looking for. Had a conversation with Paul Donna on debt. We got a application for a seasonal employee, so the Public Works Director and myself will work on that and possibly bring a recommendation to the council for the next meeting. And then the police chief, myself, Wold and their consultant met today virtually to go over technology, confirm what we had talked about back towards the end of October. And we were informed that based off of what we're looking at, they're estimating that we'll be over budget. So they are looking at a couple options to save costs. So I guess that's kind of since the last council meeting.
Okay.
Well, we signed a contract with these people, so, to build this thing for X amount of dollars, or the architect,
That's construction costs. So there was budgeted funds for furniture, technology, in addition to the construction cost.
right,
I don't remember what the number that they said, like 40,000 was what was budgeted. and we're over that.
Weren't we basing it on their expertise that they knew what we wanted?
They were hired based off of that.
I'm just so frustrated, you know, every time we turn around, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault, Joel, as the city manager. I don't know whose fault it is, but it's unnerving. I don't think I could run a business this way. It's not your fault. I wish there's something we could do to hold these people's feet to the fire, because I'm just kind of tired of it, Your Honor, Counsel.
Well, I mean, Joel's been working the value engineering as much as he can.
Oh, no, it's
You
not
know.
his fault, Your Honor. It's just, that
Yeah.
I have all the confidence in the world in Joel Erickson. It's just, we're out here relying on experts.
Right. Yeah.
Son of a gun.
You know, I think that too, at the budget meeting, we'll have to talk about that, because I think, you know, we're gonna be probably substantially over budget, and, you know, I think Joel has brought some options, and we'll just have to analyze and see what's, you know,
Yeah.
that's what we can do. And, you know, I guess, you know, the right thing is to have, you know, Wold here, and, you know,
Yep, they will be at the next council meeting with some pay requests and.
right, and then we'll have to pointedly ask, you know,
Yeah.
what's the deal here?
Well,
Yeah.
can you ask? I don't know if I'll be polite, Your Honor.
That might not be all bad, though.
Okay.
That might, you know.
I'll stand behind Kevin. Okay.
Okay, anything else, Joel?
Nope.
All right, thank you for your work. Mr. Baker?
We only have so many lots left for residential homes, and been getting some inquiries on some of there's just a few people that own a handful of lots left, and getting some inquiries on those, so hopefully there's sales taking place on those, and we'll get the rest of those sold off, and houses will go up on those, so it's just kind of a matter of time. I'm hoping to do tall weeds and grass check tomorrow on all the vacant lots. I know Jason and his crew have been out they do all the houses and do the vacant lots, so hopefully everybody's been doing that this week to make it look nice for Memorial Day. We try to do it at least before all the major holidays, and then kind of sporadically in between. And then just compiling some items for the budget. So Park Board will probably be meeting in June and going through some of those things, so.
Okay. So our next budget meeting is the 17th, and is that what?
Correct.
your schedule? Okay. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Baker?
That's it.
Thank you for all your work. Mr. Cherney?
I've bloviated enough here.
We should get that on tape.
I know.
Just repeat.
I can always count on you, Kevin, I like it.
Try not to let you down.
There we go.
Councilman Kadada?
We had a planning and zoning meeting on Monday. The smoke site was on there, and we had the sign ordinance update discussion. Basically, what we're seeing is we will probably end up updating our sign ordinance. What we're finding is we can govern the size and placement of the sign, but the content, we can't govern that. So there's a case in the Texas Supreme Court right now, and our league and the lawyers are saying, wait till that plays out and let's rewrite then if we need to. So I would think that'll be pretty much all year. We'll get updates on that every planning and zoning meeting. I guess.
Because we do have comments on you're right, on the content.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
so.
With that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, sir. Councilperson Fuhrer?
The EDA met last week, and we discussed, as Joel said, our BRE, the retreat that we'll be having. Also, the EDA will be co-sponsoring a lunch and learn in June with the chamber, and we'll be having our different utility people talking to businesses about energy savings rebates and different programs that they have available. And then we also discussed whether we should continue our listing with Cerrone Properties or if we should take another avenue. And we are looking into working with CoStar LoopNet. So we're getting more information on that for marketing the business park properties.
Good, good. Well, thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
I gave you a couple of persuasive letters last month, and I got a couple more, so the fourth graders at TCU have my mailing address.
They have
So
your number, huh?
I'm gonna read these just to just to verify that young people like you guys can potentially make a difference. So this letter is from Thomas in 4th grade at TCU. Dear Mayor Rude, it has been driving me crazy for as long as I can remember. We need a new way to get past the intersection on Highway 19, Southwest Railway Street, and 3rd Avenue Southwest. I suggest a roundabout. It is too confusing to drive past the intersection. New people who move to this town wonder town are confusing to new drivers in this intersection. People that have lived here a long time know how to do it, but new people do not. So it will help to have a roundabout. In my opinion, people are so confused. People I have rode with have said, "What do I do here?" So many people have said that, so there was a roundabout, it would be okay, it would change to okay. I know it costs a lot of money, but I have an idea to raise money. We can put a commercial in the newspaper on how to donate, and maybe some stories will help us. Young drivers will have practice for bigger roads, so it will not be as nerve-wracking in the city. They can be safe in the city. There are some reasons why we need a roundabout by intersection Highway 19, South Railway Street, and 3rd Avenue Southwest. We need your help. We need this ASAP. From Thomas Sandbolt. Okay, so you guys can consider that. Letter number 2 is from Carter. Carter doesn't have his last name, but he's a 4th grader at TCU. Dear Mayor, we should get a pool because we need everyone to have fun time. Families would be happy. Everyone would be so happy because we had a bad year because of COVID. Many will be grateful. People would go outside more. It can give you good health and reduce stress. We can do a fundraiser to help kids be happy and healthy. Many will enjoy it. That's why I believe we should get a pool, by Carter. So there, council, there's tasked with your mission there, a roundabout and a pool. So, but seriously, I do thank the young people for sending letters and staying involved in the community. I think it's very, very cool. So yeah. Then just in closing, again, Memorial Day coming up, of course. I just want to wish happy Memorial Day to the veterans and the people in the armed services. The local Legion, of course, has programs. I think they go to Vesely and to Trondheim and to Cavalry up here in Lonsdale. It's all on Monday morning. So again, a big shout out to them. And I know Cindy's on the auxiliary and Daryl Reek is a commander and stuff. And they do a lot of work for our community. So big shout out. Then lastly, I think it's graduation weekend. I think TCU is tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. I'm not sure where New Prague is, if that's next week. But congratulations to all the graduating seniors in our area and the communities. And I'm sure it's quite an accomplishment for them to graduate and move on to new things. So with that, that's all I have.
We adjourn.
Motion by Councilman Kadada,
Second?
second by Councilperson Fier. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This meeting's